Good morning and welcome to Faith, Fashion, and Fur with Leslie Souza. I was kindly reminded that I never finished my poem about Oliver. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a backstory, read you the poem today, and then tell you what I really consider to be a miracle moment. So Romans chapter 8 is where it all begins. We know that the whole creation has been groaning as in the pains of childbirth right up to the present time. Romans 8:22. So it was a hot day in July. I had gone to church in the morning, and when I came home, I was so relieved to be home. The house was air conditioned. I took my Bible, and it was my mom's Bible that she had left me after she passed away. And I took my mom's Bible and I laid it on the couch, and it fell open. And Oliver, our big, curly, dark-eyed golden doodle that we had come to love for almost 12 years at that time, came and laid on the couch and rested his head on the Bible. And I just thought it was an adorable moment. And I went and I got my camera and I took a few cute pictures. I looked at them and I thought, he was getting older. They didn't look as cute as I thought they were going to. So I left them on my camera, but just went about my day. So, Thanksgiving came. It was a warm, sunny day that year, but the day that the picture was taken was in the summer. It was a hot day in July. So the following Thanksgiving, so in November that year, I brought Oliver outside to sit on the front porch, and my husband and a very handy stepson that I have were putting up Christmas lights. And this was before we headed over to my niece's house for Thanksgiving dinner. I enjoyed watching Oliver during this time. He spread out. We had bought him, he was getting older. We'd bought him an orthopedic mattress. And so I was watching him out on the front porch, just sprawled out on that, enjoying the sunshine that was upon him, falling upon him. And he was just, a better way to put it was the way I put it in my book, Sit Still, my devotional book. I put that he was soaking up the sun. So it was basically a perfect day. When we returned home, we noticed that Oliver's breathing had become labored. And by the following day, we knew that something was very wrong with him. We rushed him to the veterinarian. It was the same one who had been seeing him since we got him when he was only 8 years old. And she painfully yet very straightforward told us it's time. We called my oldest son first, who came right over, and then we placed a call to England, where my youngest son was stationed in the U.S. Air Force. While I was filling him in on Oliver, I was grateful for the times that he had been home over the last 4 years. Him and Oliver had some great visits. Oliver loved to swim in the pool, and I have lots of pictures of my youngest son swimming with him. So he insisted, that son that was in the Air Force, that was stationed in England, he insisted on staying on the phone until we all said our goodbyes. With almost 12 years of membership in our family, Oliver was one of our family members. He had a very special place in my boys' heart. They had wanted to get a dog. They had, my husband was about cats. He was not about dogs at the time. And we asked if we could get a dog. And my husband said, as long as she is small. And my son saved their money to buy the dog. It was a golden doodle. It was back when they first started to become popular. And this golden doodle the one we wanted, was going to be coming from Iowa, and he was $850, while these dogs at that time were $2,500 in the Los Angeles area. So my boys went through all of their belongings and got together what they were willing to get rid of to make money at a yard sale, a garage sale, for this particular dog. So I was sitting out front on my mom's old wicker love seat, which I still have to this day. And I was just numb about this. Did not make any sense. This story went all over the place. What I was trying to say is he was the only dog that we had for the boy's entire life. And after we put him to sleep, knowing that my oldest son was safely home, who had come to the veterinarian's office with us, and I had hung up from my son that was in the Air Force, that I sat on my mom's love seat on the front porch without Oliver, and I just felt numb. And I began writing this poem. I shared part of it with you before, but I wasn't able to finish it in my allotted 15 minutes. So it's called The Garage Sale Dog. All little boys should have a dog. My husband wanted no part in this dialogue. Why wasn't I happy to just have a cat? End of discussion. That would be that. He finally agreed, but she had to be small. A miniature dog or nothing at all. I told my boys to gather their stuff. What we could sell must be enough to send for this dog, a boy's best friend. Their excitement reached to no end. Our garage sale was a huge endeavor. I was so proud as my boys worked harder than ever. They were delighted as they counted their money, just enough for their garage sale dog, not an extra penny. They raised like $851. When we picked the dog up from the airport that day, my husband was speechless. What could he say? This little dog wasn't a she. Although he was adorable, it was kind of funny to me. When the dog stumbled and fell into our spa that first day, we noticed his huge feet had gotten in his way. The dog grew and grew, so not a miniature, to over 60 pounds. He wasn't small, but the sweetest garage sale dog we could ever have found. We all fell in love with him in every way. Even my husband eventually thought he was okay. He pulled the boys on their skateboards, loved playing in the pool, happily greeted them every day after school. Years went by too quickly. My little boys grew to men. The garage sale dog remained their best friend. When they moved out with a tear in their eyes, a man's best friend now, they said goodbye. He taught us that friends come in many sizes, and sometimes the best things in life are the surprises. That poem was written in remembrance of Oliver, who was such a big part of our family's lives, forever in our hearts. Oliver, June 2nd of 2006 to November 23rd of 2018. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Over the past 12 years, Oliver had a lot of fans on Facebook, and I knew they would be sad to hear of his passing. Knowing this made me determined to find the perfect picture to post alongside the poem. I had so many beautiful photos of Oliver on my phone to choose from. Still, when I got to the pictures I had taken back in that hot day in July, I found the one of Oliver from that warm Sunday after I had returned to church. This time the image seemed perfect, so on to Facebook it went. I had canceled all the plans I had for that long Thanksgiving weekend, and I went between the couch and the front porch for most of it. I was, like I said, I was numb, I was sad, the house just felt so empty. All of the rooms were the same, but something about them had changed forever. I just sat there from the couch onto the front porch. I was sad. I thought about when my mom had died and how I had asked God for a sign that she was in heaven. And the sign that I received came miraculously. It was a poem called I Am in Heaven Now. and it had fallen out of one of my mom's books when I needed it the most. It floated down onto the floor directly in front of me, face up. I asked God for another sign now. Was Oliver in heaven? Even though I had just gone through a Bible study on heaven a few months earlier, actually I had the Bible study in my home, questions remained. As I moved from the couch to the front porch, I had my phone handy. So I started Googling whether dogs go to heaven or not. I found a Christian blog that referenced Romans chapter 8. The blogger used scripture from that chapter to substantiate his belief that dogs do go to heaven. If you have ever loved and lost a dog, you know how comforting this was to me. As I read the scriptures and prayed, I suddenly remembered the picture of Oliver that I had posted a couple days earlier on Facebook. My mind raced. I suddenly had more energy than I'd had in the whole weekend because I had to scramble to find that picture. I had to know what chapter in Romans just some more of this chaos in my mind today. I had to know where in the Bible Oliver's head was resting on, and now you know where it was. It was on Romans chapter 8. Completely unbelievable to me. I had to magnify the picture when I found it to find the exact verse and get a closer look, and I could not believe my eyes. And what I was gonna say was Oliver's head was resting on Romans chapter 8. So can you recall a time in life when you were brokenhearted? Maybe that time is now. What did God do to remind you of his closeness? What can you do to experience the intimacy of God this week in your life? And how can you comfort someone else with the comfort that God has given you this week? And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to show you God's love. I'm trying to tell you about how God comforted me in my sadness with Oliver by reading a Christian blog, reading a chapter that blogger used to substantiate his belief that dogs do go to heaven. He was a fellow dog lover. He had many large dogs of his own. And I was able at that time in my grief of losing my dog to go to the picture. The Holy Spirit led me to go back to the picture I posted on Facebook of Oliver back in July, only to find that his head was resting on the exact chapter that the blogger had spoke of in his blog, substantiating that belief. And that was of enormous encouragement to me, as I hope that it will be to you today, that maybe you've lost a pet and maybe you've wondered if they go to heaven. So may that story of Oliver and Oliver's life that brought me and my family so much joy comfort you today. May God bless you until next time. Don't disconnect yet, because I do have a few fur moments to add to this video. God bless you. Take care. Well, here he is. Coda. Hey. And Azzy. Hi, Azzy. Hi, baby. Hi, Coda. Coda has always been very good at jumping. Right, Coda? Yes. And there's Azzy. Hello, sweetheart. How are you today? How are you today, my lovey? Hello. Coming down? All right. Well, enough excitement for one day, I guess. Hey, baby.
Give me that.
Oh, he's having fun.
Give me that. Give me that. Oh, I got it.
It
I
makes
got
me
it.
happy to see him playing.
I got it. I got it. Oh, I got it. I got it. Oh. Give me it. Give me it. Oh.
So this is from Jams World. It is one of my favorite brands. I have worn some dresses by this brand before. They seem to be lightweight, and they're always colorful and comfortable. And this one is actually like a little romper, just really cute, easy to relax in, and maybe even if you want to take a nap in it, it's pretty good. So shout out to Jams World, fashion tip for the day.